Welcome to Well Read, a program about a little bit of this and a little bit of that at your Ames Public Library. Hi, I'm Jerry Hyde, Youth Services Manager at your library, and I'm here to talk about games and board games, brain development, socialization, strategies, and the library and reading. I wonder what all that has to do with each other. With me today, I have two folks that are going to help answer some of those questions and as we go on. We have a program called Play Game Ames, and it's a partnership that we have with the founders of Play Games Ames that are now sharing it with the Ames Public Library patrons. And with me is Brian, and Brian is the person that approached me. So I'll let you tell us a little bit about yourself and why Play Games happened. Play Games Ames happened. That's kind of hard to say and keep it flowing out of the mouth. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the program that you began.
Sure. My name's Brian, like you said, and Play Games Ames, I think, I was just thinking about it the other day. We have a history of about 4 years now. And when another couple and my wife and I started playing games on a regular basis, and one of those times we started dreaming together of what might it look like to have a larger, regular gathering of folks who might enjoy playing the types of games that we do as well. And so that kind of started as a homegrown movement within our house, and we eventually got to the point last year where it got too large for our house. We had 30, 40 people coming over, and we said, we need a new space. And it was around that time that we had approached you about maybe donating some games to the library for their collection. And you struck up the idea of maybe a partnership and hosting it here. And now we've been here for almost 6 months. And so that's where we're at.
And 6 months of times that we've really kind of just softly opened this program.
Right.
We, in the fall, will start having the program in a good, appropriate place that will house because we have had, 50 to 60, 70 people each time here once a month since it started too. Mm-hmm. And I would like to also add that it isn't just children's games we're talking about.
Oh no, this is for all ages. We have games for kids, we have games for adults, we have games that adults can play with kids. We're really looking to connect people in multiple ways, whether that's just across the street with neighbors or different parts of Ames or across generations or cultures. We really have a unique place here in Ames to connect with lots of people that might be different than ourselves. And we think that games is a really pretty neat way to do that.
Right, they are. And again, I'm going to kind of stretch this out a little bit, but your interest in games wasn't just because of your family. It was your own personal interest in playing strategy games. Is that fair to?
Yeah, I'm an engineer by trade, and some of these games offer some more ability to think long-term strategy. And so I enjoy some of the longer games that we have that can go for multiple hours on an evening with some friends. But I'm also a fan of lots of the games that we have that only take 5, 10, 15 minutes and are just kind of some silly fun too.
That's the games that I like to play. And with you, you have a partner of yours too.
Right. This is Stacy, and she was one of those couples that helped us start Play Games Ames together and has been a supporter and a dream visioner of the program all along the way. And
I would like to think that you didn't necessarily draw the short straw to get as the second person on the Play Games interview this morning, that you really wanted to come in.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
To be interviewed. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Stacy, and Brian and I have been friends for some time now. Playing games is how we got to know one another, and I've been playing games all the while I was growing up. It was always something my family enjoyed doing, and we just enjoyed the more modern games that have come out, a whole variety of games. As Brian said, just different levels and different puzzles to sort out. So it's something that we've found we enjoy together, and we're happy to share it with the community.
So there are games that I'm familiar with, I can name them probably on one or two hands, like Chutes and Ladders and Candyland and chess and checkers. We have a few of those in the back in the tween area for people to play with when they're in the library. But as we can see in the carts and the different things that are sitting around, there are are more games than just those that I am familiar with. So tell us about some of the games that are your favorites and why they are your favorite, and why they're important for us to play, adults or children.
Sure. You mentioned those kind of classic Americana games that most people know about. But the truth is once you start looking into the board game industry, hundreds of new games come out each year. And some people call them Euro games or designer games. And some of the main differences between what you might see on the shelves at Walmart or Target is these games really often offer multiple ways to win, different ways to get points. They're not just roll a die and move a piece along a track type of games. Some of them offer ways that we're all playing together cooperatively against the game, or ways that you're partnering with other people in unique ways. Typically there's no player elimination, so you're in the game for the whole time. It's not like you get outed within 5 minutes and then have to sit there while everybody else has fun for the rest of the game.
Like when I play Monopoly and I lose all my property.
There's no bankruptcy in the games typically. But yeah, there's different themes, and they really try to use unique things that you've never seen in games before. So some of those ideas you're familiar with in some of those classic games are incorporated, but they're not the only things that you'll see in these games. So yeah, I mean, you can see some variety here that we brought. Like I said, there's cooperative games where you're playing together. There's dexterity games, which is anything dealing with like your hands and fingers, trying to balance things or move things in unique ways. There's your simple matchmaking type card games. I mean, yeah, really anything you can think of.
Do you have a favorite?
See, I always get asked that question, and I never have a good answer. I have favorites for different types of people, different groups of people that I'm in. So if it's a larger group, something like the Seven Wonders game that we have might be good because it's a fairly quick and easy game for a larger group. And if it's just two people, there's 2-player games that I enjoy too. But there's a game for every group and every person. It's just a matter of finding it, I think.
So some of these games, though, that you tell a story or you create a story along the way, like role-playing games, or are these specifically, well, those are board games as well. But
yeah, I think role-playing games might be a slightly different realm than we're in, but a lot of these have a theme to them, whether it's you're in the Renaissance and you're trying to trade goods to make money, or if the game over here is penguins on icebergs trying to collect fish, or another one is building a world as you go with castles and roads and trying to connect them, or some are just simple numbers on cards too. So I think some of the fun is the story that comes out of playing the game together, not necessarily the actual story in the game, but more of like, remember that time when we played this game and that happened and you were so close, but Stacy came in and swooped it at the last minute, or something
and
like
that social aspect is a
Right.
very, very important part. Stacy, do you have a favorite game that you like to play?
Some of my favorites are Ticket to Ride or Carcassonne. They're nice, easy games to teach to adult friends who, or even younger friends who maybe don't know some of the newer games out there, and it's a nice entry point to learn.
So is there a favorite strategy or a favorite thought that when you choose a game that you like to bring out?
I just try to get to know the people that I'm playing with and try to choose a game that would work best for them. There are people who are into words, and maybe I could play bananagrams with them, or maybe there'd be another group that's more interested in spatial reasoning, and this penguin fish game would be fun for that. So
the bananagrams has always been kind of a very interesting game to me,
Right.
Partially because of the container that it's in.
Yes, it's
in
banana-shaped.
a little banana-shaped cloth bag. Now, tell us a little bit about what happens in that banana game.
in bananagrams, it's sort of like Scrabble, where you're building a crossword of intersecting words, and everyone's building their own crossword puzzle out of their own pile of letters, and it's a race. So as soon as you've used up all your letters in your own crossword puzzle, you say a word, was it Peel? Mm-hmm. And then everyone at the table has to draw another letter. So the person who's ahead might say that a lot, and then they might get difficult letter, an X or a Z, and they might have to hold back, and then someone else will jump into the lead and start saying peel, but it's a sort of high stress Scrabble. I enjoy it a lot.
She always beats me handily.
Knowing some Scrabble, very serious Scrabble people in my family, I know that the Bananagram would be a very, very competitive program or game that they would play.
It can be.
And that, so there's several threads here. One, I keep hearing about the social part of it and how important that is. And then that sometimes will bring people that will be maybe more competitive than others. And I would assume that's the different types of games you suggest with the different groups. I know we play every New Year's Eve a Monopoly game, and we play until the person wins. I mean, we do the whole night worth type of thing. And our thought process is that whoever wins will have such a great new year, so we kind of put a theme to it too. But we have our own kind of rules that we play. So, and I know that is something that they talk about too for the little ones is, that they don't always know the rules, but this is a great way to start knowing boundaries and developing those.
Right. So some of the littler games that we have, those are great introductions for little ones to talk about taking turns and talking about options on your turns, like you can do this or you can do that. And it's a good experience for them to talk about winning and losing games too, and that it's not all about winning, it's just about having fun with your friends. And if you had fun and you want to play again, then that's a success. And then you carry that on all the way through the adults. And I think, like you said about the relationships, it just starts coming into the games more than the actual games themselves. So when we started Play Games Ames, there were several new folks that started coming, and through the process we started playing games. And if someone's a little bit maybe more socially, not as outgoing as others, it's real easy to get behind a set of rules for a game and just focus on that, and you don't have to focus on conversation with others. But then as you get more comfortable, there's chances to start sharing lives together and caring about each other. And now some of our best friends are in our gaming group. So
yeah, it is a really fabulous way to have those conversations, or a tool to get there.
Right.
Kind of, and I'm going to make the analogy with the books, kind of having a book discussion group. You learn that friend together, and you discuss that friend, your book. And in this case, we're discussing and having conversations about our games going along. So, which is that's one of the reasons why the library is a great place for this to happen, is to have that community aspect of it as well. Going back to my Monopoly game, we have certain rules that my mom created many, many years ago, so we could all be not so competitive. And so, when we roll the dice and we land on a property, we can only buy that property. No one else can buy the yellow or the green, or So, and when we've invited other people to play in our game on New Year's Eve, that's always a discussion point for many people, because they think that we have it, that we really give people an advantage of it. So it's a great opportunity to tell, that we have our rules, and these are the rules we're playing with. And I know, again, that especially when you're playing with little ones, that's a very important part to empower them to be good game players and to understand the game and to get that practice in. So when they join other groups, then they can, be a little bit more knowledgeable in that interaction of taking turns.
I think that shows some flexibility and creativity and thinking. If you just open a game and play it by the rules, that's a totally different experience than yours, where you're assessing it and deciding what you want to change to make it work for your group. And that's a powerful thing to make it a creative process.
Yeah, we have a few folks within our game group who are actually fledgling game designers too. And so often at our groups you'll see someone bringing one of their games along, and that's exactly what we do, is we play it and then we discuss it and see what could be mended and molded or taken out or added, and just to make it a better experience for what they're trying to get out of their game.
Oh, how awesome is that? Well, we've talked a lot about the strategy and the thought process that goes beyond these games or during the games. Let's talk a little bit about the program that you've established and that we're having here at the library. So we've been kind of doing that soft opening on the fourth Saturday of each month. And in September, we are actually going to start with the fourth Saturday in the Auditorium and get a little bit more serious about it as far as making it an established program. So what can a person expect if they come in on that fourth Saturday at 2 o'clock and they want to play a game? What might part of the experience be?
Sure, I think when you walk in, you're going to see a bunch of different tables set up, and there might be some folks already playing a game, there might be some open tables, and then all the games that we have available that day will be spread out. I hope that someone, as soon as you walk in with maybe a question look on your face, someone, probably myself, will come up and greet you and say, have you heard of any of these games before? Would you like me to teach one? And then I can kind of give you a rundown of how long a game might take and if it's appropriate for your family or for you as an individual, and get some people together around a table. And I'll sit there, or someone will sit there and walk you through the first several turns and get you comfortable with it, and just be kind of roaming to answer questions as you go along through your game. So we don't expect you to know anything about games. If you've never seen a board game in your life before, please come on out and check it out. We have several folks who come just for conversation now. They've gotten to know folks in the group, and they don't really care about playing a game, but they want to catch up with the others in their lives. So it's a real casual atmosphere. You don't have to be here right at 2. You don't have to stay till 5. It's just a window so that you can come and play for any time that you'd like, and hopefully learn a new favorite or meet some new friends while you're at it. So.
And I think the emphasis I would like to say too, that you don't have to have little kids. You can be a single adult that's over 60 or 100 and come on in and join that table with other people. It's a great way to meet people. Right. I know when we had the first program that we had in the auditorium, and we had 70 some people that came that day, I was just totally amazed at the interaction. And I shouldn't be, because I see that every day, but the interaction of people and the newness of some of them just sitting down and playing a game and leaving good friends, or leaving like that they've known each other forever. So games have a great way of bringing people together and having that enjoyment together. We also provide some snacks and drink as well. And in November, there's an International Game Day. So in November, it'll be a different Saturday, because it's the third Saturday, and we're going to make that a pretty special day. So we're going to bring in we're going to make it longer and start it sooner or earlier in the day, and provide some meal-like stuff.
Right,
food,
so,
not just snack food or heavy hors d'oeuvres.
So that's the third Saturday in November, right? And that's
Correct.
International Play Games at Your Library Day. So libraries across the world are hosting game days, and so the Ames Public Library is on the map as one of those places, and we hope we can get as many people out to come and experience that as we can. So
where would you suggest a person would go to kind of find more information about that, and about how games are important in a person's life and a family's?
There's lots of different resources out there for board games. One of the ones that is most heavily utilized is a website called Board Game Geek, and they have a database of almost every game in existence with pictures and rules and comments and videos. So if you want to learn about a game, that's a great place to go. Of course, you're always welcome to reach out to our Facebook group, Play Games Ames, or our email, which is playgamesames@gmail.com, and we can answer any questions or about games or the program in general. There's lots of podcasts that talk about games, YouTube channels that talk about games. Just go somewhere and type in board games and you'll be surprised at what pops up.
Yeah, all the hits that came. But we do have specific ones for our Play Games Ames here in town. And we'll show that email and Facebook page address again. And so, I'm just so excited for our partnership and what it's bringing to the library and bringing to our community here in the Ames area. And so I would like to invite you, our public of all ages, to the library at the fourth Saturday of every month, with the exception of November when it's the third Saturday. If you have any questions, you can always look at our page 1 or on our online with the library website, or go out to Play Games Ames Facebook page as well. Come and play games with us. We do have games available part of the time in the teen space and in the tween area as well. The games that we specifically use in Play Games Ames, we have been kind of keeping in the back for a little while, but those things may change in the future. So please come and join us, meet the rest of the partners that we have with Play Games Ames, and join us in the auditorium on the fourth Saturday at 2 o'clock each month. Until then, play a good board game and have some conversation along with that with a friend, with your children, or come and join us on that fourth Saturday at 2 o'clock. Until then, happy reading and happy playing games.